Kendrick Lamar just watched Drake drop 3 albums in one night, take over the CN Tower in Toronto like a full supervillain move, and spend almost every track on Iceman circling back to him. The hype jokes, the streaming numbers, the conscious rap image, the Compton turkey giveaways, the bot farm talk, all of it seemed aimed right at K-Dot. And Kendrick has not said one word yet. Not one post, not one story, not one cryptic lyric showing up out of nowhere at midnight. Nothing. Complete silence. And that silence might be the loudest thing happening in hip-hop right now. Because the last time Drake came this heavy and Kendrick stayed quiet, what came next shook the entire culture. Kendrick sat back, let Drake and Cole do all the talking, then dropped Euphoria, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us back to back to back, and flipped the whole conversation around Aubrey Graham completely. So, when I say people are watching every single move right now, understand exactly what this moment feels like. Drake dropped Iceman on May 15th, 2026. He had been building toward this moment for 2 full years, 2 years of lawsuits getting dismissed, 2 years of watching Kendrick win 5 Grammys connected to a diss track aimed at him, 2 years of watching Kendrick perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl halftime show in front of 120 million people while the crowd yelled certified pedophile so loud the stadium shook. 2 years of staying quiet while people debated his legacy like it already belonged in another era. So when Drake finally stepped back outside, people thought this was it. This was the moment Drake reminds everybody why he ran this game for 15 years. Then the album dropped, and Drake spent so much of the project still talking about Kendrick, and that tells you everything about where this battle stands right now. Today we are breaking all of it down, every bar Drake threw on Iceman aimed at K-Dot, every angle he came from, and what Kendrick's response to all of this actually looks like. Because trust this, the response may have already happened, people just did not catch it yet. Let me break it down. To understand why Iceman hits different, you have to go all the way back. Not 2024, not even close. We are going back to 2011. That is when Drake and Kendrick were actually moving like brothers in this thing. Kendrick Lamar, Compton kid, fresh off the XXL freshman list. Outside the West Coast, a lot of people still did not fully know who he was yet. Then he landed on Drake's Take Care album in 2011 on a track called Buried Alive Interlude. Not a feature with both of them trading bars over a beat. A full interlude by himself on Drake's biggest album at the time. That is how much support was there. Drake was already a chart-topping superstar. Kendrick was the young rising name from the West that Drake was helping shine a light on. For the next 2 years, everything looked solid. These were peers, 2 of the most gifted artists of their generation moving side by side, building their own lanes. But then 2013 happened, and this is where everything changed. No cap. Kendrick Lamar dropped a verse on Big Sean's Control that flipped the whole conversation. He called out Drake directly as one of the rappers he wanted to compete against lyrically, not because of personal issues, not because of drama. Kendrick has always moved different. He raps like somebody chasing something bigger than the moment. He said what he said and framed it as friendly competition. Drake did not fully see it that way. From that point on, the energy started shifting. Over the next decade, anytime Drake got asked about Kendrick, he would say things were good. But when people paid attention to the lyrics, the subtle shots kept showing up. The tension never fully disappeared, it just stayed under the surface. Then 2023 happened, J. Cole and Drake dropped First Person Shooter, and Cole did something that, looking back now, lit one of the longest fuses hip-hop has ever seen. He put Drake himself and Kendrick Lamar together as the big 3 of modern rap. 3 giants, equal status, sharing the same space at the top. That is where Kendrick drew the line. March 2024, Kendrick Lamar jumps onto Future and Metro Boomin's project with Like That. And on that record, K-Dot looks straight ahead and says, "Mother font, the big 3, it's just big me." Boom, the spark was there. But here's what changed everything. Most people thought Kendrick was just talking tough, just being competitive. What people did not realize in that moment was Kendrick already looked at this differently. Not just bars going back and forth, not just another rap clash for headlines. In Kendrick's view, this had become something bigger, and he was aiming straight at legacy in full public view. Drake came back, of course he came back. In April 2024, he dropped Push-Ups, taking shots at Kendrick, joking about his height, questioning his pen, and talking confidently the way people expected. Then Drake pushed things even further and dropped Tailor Made Freestyle, and this is where things shifted hard. He used AI-generated vocals styled after Tupac Shakur and Snoop Dogg to go at Kendrick. Tupac's estate responded fast and threatened legal action. Their position was that using Tupac's voice against Kendrick Lamar, somebody who had consistently shown respect to Tupac's legacy, added another layer of disrespect. Drake ended up removing the track within days. Before the biggest moments of the battle even arrived, a major controversy had already hit, but it did not stop there. April 30th, 2024, Kendrick Lamar drops Euphoria. 6 minutes and 13 seconds of Kendrick sounding like somebody who had been sitting on his thoughts for years. No hook, no melody-heavy approach, just bars, direct and focused. He challenged Drake's image, questioned parts of his public identity, and criticized how Drake's relationship with hip-hop culture had been viewed by some critics over the years. The internet exploded, but Kendrick was not done. May 3rd, 2024, 6:16 in LA arrives. Kendrick was moving fast now. And Drake responded the same day with Family Matters, an 11-minute diss record. Drake made serious accusations. He questioned Kendrick's personal life, his image, and his credibility. He also brought Kendrick's longtime creative collaborator Dave Free into the conversation. Drake went at everything he could. The personal side, the public side, the reputation side. It was the kind of track built to land heavy if people believed what was being said. Then came the moment that changed the temperature completely. 20 minutes later, 20 minutes, Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams. That was when people realized this was moving differently. Kendrick already had his response lined up before Family Matters even hit the public. People started looking at the timing differently. Like Kendrick had anticipated where things were heading before they even got there. And this is where things got wild. Meet the Grams was not aimed directly at Drake in the usual way. Kendrick structured parts of it like letters to Drake's family. The track raised major allegations and heavy accusations, including claims about Drake's personal life and references to another alleged hidden child. Back in 2018, Pusha T had already revealed Drake's son Adonis to the public. Kendrick was now pushing an even bigger claim into the spotlight. Then May 4th, 2024 arrived. Not Like Us. Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. That line already took on a life of its own, but the bigger story was the record itself. The whole song hit like a weapon, nearly 4 minutes of Kendrick over a DJ Mustard beat that connected everywhere. The production hit hard, the energy felt massive. People who normally never followed rap battles were suddenly paying attention and streaming it. It had a melody, it had chants, it had the type of energy that felt built for huge crowds. Drake had spent years building himself into one of the most commercially successful rappers alive, the artist making major crossover records, the artist making songs that shaped internet culture, the artist helping bring hip-hop deeper into mainstream radio spaces, and Kendrick found a way to challenge him in that exact lane. He made a diss record people found catchy, memorable, and impossible to ignore. Drake responded again on May 5th, 2024 with The Heart Part 6. He denied allegations aimed at him. He also claimed false information had been planted to mislead Kendrick, and that Kendrick had reacted to it. For a short moment, debate took over online. Then Kendrick performed Not Like Us at the Pop-Out, his concert at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, and he performed it 6 times. 6 times. LeBron James was there, big names were there, the crowd energy felt massive. Suddenly, public opinion around the battle felt like it shifted hard. Then came another major moment. At the 67th Annual Grammy Awards in February 2025, Not Like Us won across every category where it was nominated. Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Rap Performance, Best Rap Song, Best Music Video, 5 for 5. A diss track connected to one of hip-hop's biggest rivalries had reached the Grammys and won Song of the Year. That pushed the entire moment into another level of music history. And then 2 weeks after the Grammys, Kendrick took the stage at Super Bowl 59, the biggest halftime audience ever, and he performed Not Like Us. The crowd chanted along so loudly that even with censorship during the broadcast, the moment still became one of the biggest talking points online. Serena Williams, who Drake had publicly been linked to in past rumors, also appeared during the performance. One music writer from Complex, paraphrased, described it like this: "The public impact Drake took from Kendrick Lamar on a national and global level may have been one of the biggest losses ever seen in a rap rivalry, period." That was the situation Drake was walking into when he made Iceman. Between the Super Bowl in February 2025 and the Iceman release in May 2026, Drake stayed fairly quiet musically when it came to direct responses. He dropped a collaboration project with Party Next Door on Valentine's Day 2025 called Some Sexy Songs For You, but people did not see that as the big comeback moment. It felt more like Drake staying in his comfort zone. In January 2025, a leaked track called Fighting Irish Freestyle surfaced. He touched on the feud and appeared to throw shots toward LeBron and UMG, but reactions felt mixed. Hip Hop DX described it as empty, tough talk. It did not create a huge shift in the conversation. Then Drake made a move that showed where his mindset was after everything that happened. He filed a defamation lawsuit against Universal Music Group, his own label, connected to how Not Like Us was promoted, not Kendrick, the label. Yeah. Drake argued that UMG had amplified a song containing damaging accusations about him. He also argued that company leadership publicly celebrating the song's success added to concerns he had raised. Drake's side framed it as part of broader business pressure surrounding larger industry issues. Here is where things shifted again. That lawsuit was dismissed in October 2025. Drake continued appealing, but legally that first result did not go his way. So heading into 2026, people felt like Drake had one major move left. Drop elite music. Remind people who Drake was before the feud changed the entire conversation. That is what Iceman looked like it was supposed to be. The rollout was massive. Credit where it is due. He launched a 4-episode YouTube live stream series leading into release night. Episode 4 especially got people talking. Drake previewed lyrics. He showed visuals that appeared to reference online discussions around streaming accusations connected to Not Like Us. He leaned directly into narratives people had debated for months. Then he teased bars. The internet immediately started connecting dots. People instantly thought the shots were aimed right back at K. Then Drake revealed something nobody expected at the end of the livestream. He was not dropping one album, he was dropping 3, all at midnight. 43 songs total. Iceman, Maid of Honor, and Habibi. He even took over the CN Tower in Toronto, lighting it up and turning the release into a full event. Before the albums officially landed, a leaked track called 1 AM in Albany, part of his famous timestamp series, started spreading online. On that record, Drake took more shots at Kendrick. He joked about Kendrick's height, comparing him to Muggsy Bogues. He also mentioned LeBron and Dr. Dre. The whole vibe felt like Drake fully stepping into battle mode, talking directly to everybody, watching the situation unfold. The stage was set, the entire culture was paying attention. Then Iceman finally dropped. Now let's break down exactly what Drake said about Kendrick across the album, because he spread the disses across several songs. To really understand Drake's angle, you have to see the bigger picture laid out together. The first major shot comes on Make Them Pay. Drake says, "Damn, who is this guy for real? I guess a magician." 100 million streams vanish. No one got questions for NU. The magician line connects back to the streaming accusations Drake previously raised during the UMG lawsuit situation. The implication is that Not Like Us may have had inflated numbers, and that after the peak moment passed, attention around the streams faded without many people questioning it publicly. Drake is clearly trying to plant doubt around how organic Kendrick's success during the battle really was. Then on the same song he says, "And now they got a new GOAT and we gotta test the position." That is a direct response to Kendrick's line from Like That. "Motherfuck the big 3, it's just big me." Drake's message sounds clear. You want the throne? Then prove you can hold it. The second major shot lands on Dust. Drake raps, "What was the year you said you had slaps? Cause I don't remember it going like that. I don't remember one word of your raps." This one feels intentionally petty. Drake is basically arguing that Kendrick's music outside the feud does not leave a major impact for him personally. The angle is that the diss tracks became the biggest part of Kendrick's momentum in the public conversation. Coming from the same battle where one of Kendrick's diss records went on to win huge awards, people online immediately reacted to the line. Still, Drake put it out there anyway. Third shot, height jokes, multiple tracks. The Muggsy Bogues line on 1 AM in Albany. Muggsy Bogues dunked for once. Even I'm a bit amazed. Someone give the kid a raise. Muggsy Bogues is famously the shortest player in NBA history. Drake is using that comparison to joke about Kendrick's height and frame it like somebody smaller landing a major hit surprised him. Drake has gone to that angle before. Push-ups in 2024 carried that same energy. The fact he is still going back to it 2 years later says something by itself. Fourth shot, and this might be the most interesting one. Drake took aim at Kendrick's conscious rapper image. During episode 4 of the livestream build-up, Drake previewed a line that instantly got people talking. "White kids listen to you because they feel some guilt, and that's how your soul get fulfilled. Handing out turkeys on camera inside of your hood, then you go back to the hills." Read that again. "White kids listen to you because they feel some guilt." Drake is questioning Kendrick's public image, activism, and community reputation. The angle Drake is pushing is that Kendrick's audience and public image do not fully match how he presents himself. Drake is also questioning whether public community moments are genuine or more connected to image building. That is a targeted angle because it goes directly at what many fans see as a huge part of Kendrick's identity, his credibility, his message, his connection to the culture. But here is where things got complicated. Some people online quickly pushed back. Critics pointed out Drake has spent years facing conversations about his own relationship with different musical styles, influences, and identity within hip-hop spaces. Because of that history, some people felt the criticism landed awkwardly coming from him. The internet noticed it immediately. Fifth Shot, the caged owl reference. Drake raps, "The owl never sees the cage. The owl only wakes up to seize the day." In Kendrick's Not Like Us video, fans connected the owl imagery to Drake and OVO branding. Drake now appears to flip that symbolism back around, trying to turn the owl into a symbol of control, freedom, and strength. On paper, it is a smart move, but some listeners felt it also brought attention right back to Kendrick's original visual message and the impact people connected to it. Sixth Shot, "I'm fighting the man, not suing a rapper." That comes from B's on the Table, Drake addressing criticism around the lawsuit directly. A lot of people viewed filing against UMG instead of Kendrick as a move outside the usual hip-hop playbook. Some felt it leaned more legal than lyrical. Drake's angle is clear. He is saying his issue is with the system, not the artist standing in front of him. Whether people accepted that argument or not depended on who you asked. Seventh Shot, the West Coast angles. On Too Hard for the Radio, Drake leans into a West Coast style sound and tells Kendrick that people in Oakland support him too. The message feels intentional, like he is testing the idea of regional loyalty and challenging the strength of Kendrick's home field connection. Then Drake shifts focus toward Mustard. "Mustard heard about us, gotta catch up to the slaps. You ain't had one since me and YG rapped." That line sends pressure toward Kendrick's circle too. Mustard helped shape Not Like Us into one of the biggest records tied to the entire battle, and Drake's angle here is questioning momentum and impact. So now everything is on the table. Every bar Drake aimed toward Kendrick Lamar across 3 albums, 43 songs, multiple angles, and now comes the question everybody is debating: did it work? From major hip-hop personalities to podcasts to conversations happening everywhere, from Compton to Toronto, people keep landing on the same discussion. Did Drake move the score? A lot of early reactions online say Drake rapped well, better than he has in years according to some listeners. The Iceman material sounds focused, the bars feel sharper, the delivery sounds hungrier, the energy feels locked in. As a rap performance, many people see strong moments. But this battle has never only been about technical rapping, it is also about narrative, and the narrative Drake is fighting right now runs deep. Look at the timeline. Drake comes back after 2 years, drops 43 songs, and a major part of the conversation still circles Kendrick Lamar. The streams, the bot discussions, the lawsuit, the owl references, the hype, GNX, the West Coast, the conscious rap image, so much of it keeps connecting back to the same rivalry. And that is why people keep debating what it means. Some see it as unfinished business, some see it as proof the battle still matters. Others think when somebody fully moves on from a moment, they stop bringing it back up. That is the conversation hip-hop is sitting inside right now. Kendrick has not posted, has not responded, has not acknowledged Iceman in any official way. Before the album dropped, Kendrick's music videos for Not Like Us and Luther briefly disappeared from YouTube, gone for a few hours. Then they came back. The internet instantly started trying to figure out what happened. Was it a move, a glitch, something planned, something random? Then another rumor exploded. People started posting that Kendrick was getting ready to drop a response project called Fireman. For a minute, people ran with it, then the rumor got shut down completely. No project, no surprise drop, no hidden rollout. But the fact people believed it that quickly says something by itself. The anticipation around Kendrick responding is so massive that people started creating theories before anything even happened. That says a lot about the attention around this whole situation. Kendrick has not said a word, and people are still watching every move. Now here's what some people keep missing when they look at this battle, like it only comes down to who made the stronger diss track. Kendrick Lamar's response to Drake on Iceman might not come in the way people expect. And pay attention, because this is where the bigger conversation starts. A lot of fans believe Kendrick already accomplished what he wanted from the battle. From that perspective, dropping another diss track could change the way people view everything that already happened. Look at The Run, 5 Grammys, the Super Bowl performance, GNX, a project that people viewed as Kendrick, leaning fully into artistry and legacy without making Drake the center of the conversation. then a major world tour. Meanwhile, Drake stayed active in different ways: lawsuits, live streams, rollouts, music previews. A lot of fans believe Kendrick's approach since early 2025 has been moving like that chapter is finished. And for some people watching, that becomes part of the story itself. Because one argument people keep making is this: if Kendrick responds again, the conversation keeps going, the rivalry gets another round, the spotlight shifts back onto the battle, another opportunity, another cycle, another chapter. And right now, part of what has people talking so much is that Kendrick has not opened that door at all. If Kendrick says nothing, Drake is talking to himself. Drake becomes the person standing in the arena calling out somebody who already walked out of the building. Look at what happened after the battle. Not Like Us became one of the most streamed rap records in Spotify history. GNX debuted at #1. Kendrick's tour sold out arenas around the world. A lot of people across music and hip-hop circles started viewing him at the top of the game, with commercial success, critical praise, and major industry recognition all hitting at the same time. Now Drake drops Iceman, his comeback, his statement, his shot at taking back the narrative. But one of the biggest conversations coming out of the release still connects back to Kendrick. Not only Drake's new music, not only Drake's next era, the discussion keeps circling back to how Drake feels about everything that happened. That is why people keep debating who really controls the conversation. Give Drake credit too. Nobody can erase the work he built. Take care. Nothing was the same. If you're reading this, it's too late. Views, that run from 2010 through 2018 built a major legacy, one of the strongest runs hip-hop has seen in the modern era. And even on Iceman, there are moments where people hear flashes of the Drake that once felt impossible to slow down. But here's the difficult conversation people keep having. The bars about Kendrick's hype are arguments Drake has been making for a while now. The streaming accusations became part of public discussion before, but legal outcomes did not establish those claims. The criticism about conscious rap audiences also sparked debate online, especially because people viewed Drake's own history and career path through a different lens. Then there is the owl imagery. Kendrick connected that symbol to the battle in a way that became part of the bigger cultural conversation. So when Drake references it now, some listeners feel it keeps bringing attention back to Kendrick's framing, and that is why some people believe Kendrick already answered a lot of this, not with another diss track, with what happened afterward. The Grammys answered the "nobody asks about your raps" line before Drake even said it. The Super Bowl performance answered questions about Kendrick's cultural impact. GNX answered whether Kendrick could move past the battle and still make major music. The world tour is answering whether people are still connecting with what Kendrick is putting out. So when Drake says 100 million streams vanished, no one got questions, people point back to the results: 5 Grammy wins, a Super Bowl performance, big moments that already became part of the conversation. When Drake says, "I don't remember one word of your raps," people point toward millions watching Kendrick perform on one of the biggest stages in entertainment history. That is why this debate keeps going, because bars matter, music matters, but impact matters too. So where does this go now? What happens next? Here's the big question. If Kendrick responds to Iceman, if he actually drops a record directly addressing Drake again, 2 things happen. First, the battle keeps moving forward and gives Iceman even more life inside the conversation. Second, expectations immediately go through the roof, because now people compare it to Not Like Us, to Euphoria, to Meet the Grams. That standard already exists. People are going to measure anything new against those moments. But if Kendrick stays silent, another conversation keeps growing. Drake dropped one of his biggest releases in years, a major comeback moment, huge rollout, 3 albums, massive promotion, yet people still spent huge amounts of time talking about Kendrick. Even rumors created headlines. The Fireman rumor, a completely fake project, exploded online before getting debunked. But the fact people ran with it that fast says something about where public attention still sits. That matters. And here is how this whole thing looks from one perspective. Maybe Kendrick's response is already happening, not through a diss track, not through social media, not through interviews, through silence, through not stepping back into the ring, through letting people keep debating while he focuses somewhere else, touring, creating, building, moving forward. The last public statements fans connected to Kendrick's mindset before Iceman dropped came from his music and themes focused on legacy, growth, and where he fits inside hip-hop history. Bigger picture conversations, long-term conversations, and that is why people keep debating this so heavily. Some people think another response is coming, some think silence is the response, some think this whole thing still has another chapter left. Others think the chapter already ended. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Kendrick responds to Iceman, or does he stay silent and let the culture keep talking for him? Did Drake take the right approach with this album, or did putting so much attention back onto this rivalry create a bigger challenge moving forward? Drop your take below and comment "The Grammys answered" so I know you made it all the way to the end. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and share this with somebody who has been following this whole situation. Iceman just dropped, this conversation is still fresh, and if anything changes, we are going to break it all down right here. Stay locked in.